So I did a lot of things again in preparation for this episode because I knew I was going to be traveling between these two islands really often to collect resources and do other stuff. I made this landform connecting the two, and I needed a few stacks of dirt to do that, but I guess I went overboard and decided to delete half of this island to get like resources. And here it is from my view. And yeah, every time I would remove a few layers, I would go back to this platform and take a video. It was, it looks like a screenshot, but I swear these are videos. And yeah, it took a lot of hours. And I got a lot of coal. And I honestly expected a lot more coal, but this much is enough or good enough. But I also needed other resources, which begs the question, why do I need a lot of resources and a lot of different resources, or like resource gathering sessions and traveling back and forth and, that kind of stuff? Well, I decided this week or this episode, I'm going to start on the seaside town that I was planning. So, yeah, we're gonna remove a lot of wall and we're gonna start building a lot of buildings. Last week, I spent most of my time planning out the city with some wall, and this time it's time to start building one of our first buildings. And yeah, I'm not going to show you all of the building process. It's gonna jump around a lot, and a lot of steps will be skipped, but you should see the general uh, thingy that I went through, like a lot of back and forth, a lot of trial and error, because these houses aren't really planned out. And they are also pretty small, so they are very small builds, and it's kind of hard to insert a lot of like details that I want to insert, like, you know, into these very small builds. And I'm not really a builder. I'm doing this to like enhance my skills and learn more about building, but it was also really fun just building all of these houses and then seeing like my recording times per building getting really really small, like smaller and smaller per recording, or like that's how it went for one of the days I was building. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting better, but also at times I feel like I'm regressing. I'm just i'm just really practicing, and you'll be seeing this view a lot. Let's speed things up and see our seaside town transform right before our very eyes. Allow me to just talk over this section a little bit because, I want to keep this kind of flowing, but some of the parts here don't have background music, some of them do. So it's kind of hard to add a separate track for background music because sometimes there's background music along with the side sound effects. I don't know how I feel about that. Like maybe I'll just turn off music when I'm recording in the future. Anyway, the thing is, all of these houses, I wanted them to have their own unique charm, unique appearance, unique personality. Like I started off really inspired by my memories, my concept, the thought in my head of a Filipino town with Filipino houses. But at the same time, like I have not studied architecture. I don't have a reference for what this image in my head is. So I'm basing this more on the emotion, the feeling, the sensation that I feel. So like I'm trying very very hard to convey that through my builds. Like these are small houses. Sometimes you can't even fit a bathroom in them here in Minecraft. That's how small they are, and some of them are very quirky. Like this one, like vivid colors. Just it's kind of a free for all the way I think of Filipino houses. And I don't have a degree in architecture, and I have not studied these houses, but these are things that I have seen, or like reminiscent of things I have seen, because of course this is Minecraft. I can't really do these houses justice here in Minecraft, and I don't think I could even outside of Minecraft give these houses justice. Just okay, you did it. Okay, apart from this, like I can't give these houses, the justice of the just how absurd they are sometimes. That's how I feel. But also, it's kind of a love letter, or not really. I don't know what to call this. Like, it's me exploring building in Minecraft because I'm new to this and I kind of want to explore it. I want to learn how to build in a place that I am very comfortable with. These are houses that are very familiar to me, even though they are not inspired by actual houses that I've seen. Like, I'm just going around in circles at this point. But apart from houses, I also want to build like some notable places. Like maybe this is I don't know, a museum of some sort, and then there is a store, a sari sari store, so a smaller store usually connected to a house, the house of its owner, suking tindahan, and then some larger, more. I'm not gonna call them upscale because these are still small, like very small business owners, but some businesses that aren't as small as a sari sari store. And you'll see them once we take a tour after I build this last building right here. This one is going to be a restaurant, hopefully, because I thought it was overlooking the sea, and I thought, like, okay, this should be a commercial building. And I haven't really planned any of these buildings, so I am struggling a little bit with uh, the block palettes and everything. But yeah, this has been a really fun experience. Like, I spent probably 12 hours, 14 hours this week. Like, I spent a lot of time working on these because I'm still unemployed and I'm still waiting for job offers and interviews and whatever. I'm still looking for a job, by the way. Please, if you're watching this, pray for me. I kind of want to get a job soon. But apart from that, whew, let's forget about that for a moment and get back to building this restaurant because I'm going to show you in a while. But this took a bit of trial and error and effort on my part. Like, I'm viewing it from this angle for now, and a lot of things are gonna change. A lot of things are gonna change. I still have to do the interior, and I settled on this pattern. I really like it. It really reminds me of this small restaurant that sells pancit in our in my hometown that like doesn't look at all remotely close to this, but I thought like the interior kind of gave me that vibe based on the floor. It's stupid, but yeah, that's what it gives me. That's what I'm thinking. And looking at the interior from this view, it's not really visible, so I don't know why I added that. But, you know, that's essentially what I'm trying to do with my builds. I'm trying to evoke certain emotions within me that aren't repressed, but you know, uh, I don't visit very often. I don't think about Filipino houses very often. I don't think about architecture at all. I don't think about these shops, and doing this, like, I'm calling it a building exercise. Doing this has been really fun and informative in a lot of ways. Well, I guess I should start with my tour right from this house. Ignore that. Yeah, ignore that. If you've noticed, I've changed my FOV because I was getting really dizzy this week, you know, just trying to play Minecraft. Let's take this upper road for now. So, this was the very first one I built. You know it was my first house because it's like one of the more detailed ones. Ignore the fact that it doesn't have an interior. But it's pretty good. I like it. Then, the other houses here. This one is like very inspired because I've seen a lot of houses that skimp out on paint. So they don't paint their walls, and then they have these huge like windows, and then this is the aircon, and then they have all of these things, but they don't care enough to paint their house walls, which is kind of strange, but also very Filipino in my head. And then this one is like a very quirky house. It's white, but I wanted it's not marble. It's not like a very very super fancy house, but it kind of slightly fancy. So I'm thinking this is incomplete, but this is like kind of a vacation home for someone who's a little bit more wealthy and probably lives in the city and wants just a small house in the province. This one is I don't know what this is, honestly. I don't know what I was thinking while building this. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. But yeah, I don't know what this is exactly. Just another house. This one is the quirky house. Yeah, it's small but very quirky. It even has this, like, you know, a bit of a lawn, a garden area, a fenced off area for the house, which the other houses don't have that. So maybe this house is owned by a richer person who's probably old, has tacky taste, you know. This house is supposed to be a small house with a sari sari store attached to it. So that's it. Nothing really to say. Like, it's a very small house. This one's another small house. This is probably like a very small apartment, a very cheap house for rent. And then another house here. This one at least has a bathroom, and it's kind of a spacious bathroom, but it's still very small. And it has unfinished walls as well. Then you have those bars up there for ventilation. This one's a bit more upscale, I would say. Like, it looks pretty nice. This is a spot for a bathroom, I would say. But yeah, this is pretty nice. Even though like the inside isn't actually very nice, it's still pretty nice compared to the other houses we've seen. This one is a very small one that I thought could be like a bake shop, a bakery. Even though I don't know where they could bake here, but a bake shop. Then this is like a very cute pink house. It's small, but it has a lot of personality. Yeah, right next to this dark and gloomy one. It's very cute and pink. And then this, okay, I was looking for this. But yeah, this one is a small business. So it's probably like selling something. It's probably like something like a pharmacy or something. Because, you need a pharmacy in a town, but who knows? This one is kind of just a quirky thing I built. It's probably going to be a pawn shop, no. A museum, maybe. I don't know what it's going to be. I just know that it's not a shop that is like this one. It's not a sari sari store. It's not a house. So it's gonna be something. It's gonna be a landmark. If you were like to search this on Google Maps, it would be a landmark for something that's quirky. I like that term, apparently. And then for this one, I plan on transforming this area in the future to be kind of a park. So it's gonna be paved with probably just these cobblestone and mossy cobblestone and bricks and stone bricks and things like that. What it ultimately leads to is this restaurant overlooking the sea. You've seen this interior before, but this is the kitchen. There's a chef here. Then probably a couple dining tables here. Then there's gonna be a small, very small bathroom, just a toilet, and then this additional like dining space. There's probably going to be a chandelier up there. I'm just having fun with words at this point because I'm having a hard time talking. This area, like the receptionist will greet you, appoint you to a table or something. You can ask for reservations right there. And yeah, it feels like a very, very small town, which is it is. It's not halfway done at all. That's it. That's everything I've done this week. I've played a lot of hours, mainly because I'm unemployed. Oh my gosh, please help me. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's everything. And so that's it for this video. That's it for this week. That's it for now for this small town. Am I proud of it? Kind of. Like, I know it's not the best thing, but it's mine. I made it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And hopefully, I'll make another video soon. Next week. Maybe. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching if you're watching. If you're not watching, you're not here, so why am I talking to you? Just to remind everyone, this is just my hobby. I'm still looking for a job. Please. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to do this again. I'm just repeating myself at this point. But yeah, goodbye.